we work for, what maybe your job title.
Okay. I'm Josh Schlenker. I work for MedMen, and I'm the product procurement manager for all of the retail locations. Basically, my role entails just making sure that we have the best selection of products available on the market and that we are keeping up to date with all the different trends that are coming. At a MedMen cultivation, whether it's a seed or a clone cut, it'll start in our cultivation. It'll start in the bedroom, it'll move into flower, and then once it goes through about 8 to 9 weeks of its flowering phase, it'll be cut down and sent to our trim processing room. That's where they'll then bag things up and send them out to the different dispensaries. When you're dealing with flower, it's really important that the aesthetic and the smell stays very similar to when it was finished being processed from your cultivation. And so to do that, we have to strictly monitor the humidity levels throughout the entire process of cultivating the plant. If we don't keep the same relative humidity level, then we're gonna have the bud start to break down and we're gonna have it start to oxidize and it's gonna start to dry out and it's gonna just really diminish the quality very quickly. The second that it comes down from the dry room, it's going to go into a bin to cure and it's going to go with a Boveda pack and it's going to stay at that 62% humidity the whole time. And then we're going to move it to be trimmed, and after it's trimmed to be bagged. And that whole time it will have to be with the Boveda packs because it's just going to end up being exposed to air for too long to go without. So terpenes are starting to matter more and more as consumers become more and more educated about marijuana and just want to find out more about what it is they're actually putting in their body. We could talk about different kinds of benefits that you can get from terpenes, but I think for me the most important thing is it's really about the smell. The first thing any consumer does with flower is that they open it up and they smell it. That's almost more important than the way it looks. So once you lose the smell, you can have the nicest bud in the world, but if those terpenes have completely dissipated and you weren't able to retain any of them, then you might as well have nothing. Outside of just retaining the terpene profile of a flower, I have to be able to store flower for a considerable amount of time. If we get flower from an outside vendor, it needs to be able to sit with me for a time so I can send it out and be lab tested. We can put it through all the processes we need to put it through. And then, it could be a week, maybe to 10 days before it actually gets out to our patients. And we want to make sure it still has the same quality that it did when it started. Quality matters a lot today. You can no longer just offer marijuana to people not knowing what the strain is, not having it lab tested, not having it properly stored with some way of having it retain the humidity that it should have. Basically we're a premium dispensary and you have certain expectation we have to meet with the patients that we have. And we've tried different types of products for keeping relative humidity in a small space, but for our flower we trust Boveda. What differentiates MedMen is our ability to kind of think outside the current structure that is the industry right now and kind of look towards the future of what this industry is going to look like. And what helps us do that is the technology that we've developed through our point of sale system and partnerships with different kinds of companies that kind of have the same forward-thinking thought processes we do, like Boveda. I'm Josh Schlenker, the procurement manager at MedMen, and this is our craft.